I'm going to either win 388 games or I'm going to win 389. Either one of them throw me over the hump or nothing. Unless something happened to Joe today. Anything happened to Joe today?
Offense, control the line of scrimmage. Be dominant. Communicate up front. Dominate with our size and athleticism. Ain't no time now to worry about what the outcome is. Don't look at the scoreboard. One play at a time. From the first play to the last play.
Need a horn and the drum roll. Turn up, yeah!
I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Now it's time to go to work. Season's over. A different time. I told you they remember November. But December's our time. December's we do what we do. That's Florida State time. We're back where we belong.
Let's get it on. Need a horn to break it down. Turn up, yeah!
I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Just change.
I'm going to either win 388 games or I'm going to win 389. Neither one of them throw me over the hump or nothing. Unless something happened to Joe today. Anything happened to Joe today?
Offense, control the line of scrimmage. Be dominant. Communicate up front. Dominate with our size and athleticism. Ain't no time now to worry about what the outcome is. Don't look at the scoreboard. One play at a time. From the first play to the last play.
Need a horn and a drum roll. Turn up, yeah!
I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Now it's time to go to work. Season's over. A different time. I told you they remember November. But December's our time. December's we do what we do. That's Florida State time. We're back where we belong.
Let's get it on. Need a horn, break it down. Turn up, yeah!
I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
Hey. We do have Washington and Oregon on in the back, but that's not what you came here for. What is going on for the state family, Seminole Nation, and the 863 tribe? FSU just took care. Okay, FSU just took care of the Syracuse Orange, 41-3. Right? What was my score prediction? 38-3. So I was three off, man. Good overall performance from the Noles, man. They came out, especially in the second half. They did it again. I don't know what it is about second quarters, right? We are allergic. FSU is allergic to second quarters. But they had a great second half, in my opinion. Defense played an entire 4 quarters. Loved what I saw from that defense today. Entire 4 quarters of ball from that defense. I hope. I know how this is going to go. But my hope is that we do not come and nitpick a 41-3 victory, y'all. That's my hope. 41-3. FSU beats the Syracuse Orange in Tallahassee. Before we go over the stats and all that good stuff, man, Y'all already know. Hit the like button. Pay my bills. Like button. Share the video. Subscribe if you're new by chance. You kicking it with the livest post-game show on the internet. The most interactive show on the internet when it comes to this Florida State football talk and conversation. You are on 863 Seminole TV. Happy to see all of y'all in here on this glorious Saturday. I'm having a great Saturday. I'm having a great weekend, period, man. Good for you realize how crazy this week's been from a football perspective? College games started on Tuesday. We've had what? 5-6 straight days of college football this week. Something like that, man. Great weekend. Great week if you're a college football fan. Man, great week. Let me take a drink of some Dr. Pepper. But yes, please hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Y'all know the deal. Good to see all the regulars in here. Pretty no girl. Kami, I don't want to butcher the name, but Kaminka. Give me a second. I'm gonna Kaminoko. That's what I'm gonna go with. It's Kaminoko, and I'm sticking with that. But I appreciate you with a $9.99 super chat. She says, "Go Noles, man. I love my team. When you're right, you're right, and I don't disagree with you. I love my team."
Yeah, more money, more money. Yeah, more money, more money.
But good to see Champs 99, Mr. Wolf. Matter of fact, let's do a roll call real quick. Then let's go over this game. Let me make sure we got everybody who's in the chat. Let me make sure I shout out you guys. Mr. Wolf, Tyler Hedden, Pretty No Girl, KCS, Champs 99, Gator Hater, Insane Mob, Joe Johnson, No Sir Not Me, Abel, Grillmaster, Seminole Zach, Island Boy, Todd Pope, Chris Robinson, Briley in the building, NK, Ryan Mitchell, Noel Nation, Montre, Rock Jersey, Corey Hall. I think we got Melly Mel. I think we got Jakeem. Every time I say we got KCD, Ronald Smith, Panama Jack, Sam Gibson. I think we got Raymond, man, Stroking the Flame, Richard Prite, The Land. I think we got everybody for real this time. Brandon Brazier, dang, Ice Cold Noel, Randy Yates. Okay, for real, we got everybody. Gabriel Rodriguez. I think that was the last one, though. Jeff Allen, Zozuki, Florida State Love, Pretty No Girl with the $1.99. He just going to steal my blanket off the back of the... Go ahead, take it home. Go ahead. Golly, messing up my feng shui back here. What up, Pope? Go Noles, go Noles, go Noles all day. Don't have kids. Whole feng shui just off now. Look at that, man. Look at that.
The money goes into my piggy bank.
Black Sheer Noah Dangbay. Let's get it. I don't know if I said you, Michael Adams. Mushin. And now we are good. We all caught up in the chat, man. Hit the like again. Hit the like. Subscribe and share. Hit the like, subscribe, and share. Some. We're gonna get to the individual performance, man, because some young players flashed. But let's go over the nuts and bolts of this game, and then we actually gonna talk about what transpired. But Florida State beat Syracuse 41-3. Jordan Travis goes for he threw for damn near 40 times. But he went 23 for 37, 284, and a touchdown. He also ran the ball 7 times for -5 yards, but he did get 2 touchdowns on the ground. So 3 total touchdowns for JT on the day. Washington with the ball. I got Oregon in this game, by the way, but this should be a fun one. Rodemaker was 2 for 2 for 60 yards and a touchdown. So give Rodemaker some props. Toafili went 7 carries, 93 yards and a touchdown. Benson went 14 carries, 74 yards. CJ Campbell had a carry for 19. Keziah had 2 for 11. And everybody else doesn't even matter. But Florida State threw for a total of 344 yards and ran for a total of 191. So another good performance on the ground today. Really helped out by that LT run at the later on in the game. And 3 total touchdowns on the ground. The star of the game, I think we all know who's getting this helmet sticker today, do we not? Keon Coleman goes 9 catches, 140, and 1 touchdown. And that ain't even all he did on, because the special teams, he was pretty damn good there too. Jaheim Bell with a bounce back game, 4 catches for 87. Hakeem Williams. Now there's this clown college down south. For the fans of this clown college, I call them clowns. The clown college has clown fans, go figure. But those guys told me Hakeem Williams was stiff and slow and he couldn't run and he was a bust 5-star and they got the better wide receivers last year out of high school. 1 catch, 44, takes it to the cribbo. You shouldn't be that big and move that fast. There's a reason why stars matter, folks. Y'all that argue about the stars don't matter, there's a reason why stars matter. Hakeem Williams goes 1 catch for 44 and a touchdown. Darian Williamson had 2 catches for 23. Keziah had a catch for 1 catch and 16 yards. LT 1 for 11. Dustin Hill, who unfortunately was in a boot at the end of the game. That might be something that we got to keep an eye on going forward. Dustin Hill did leave the game and was in a boot at the end of a game, all according to 247's Brandon Sonone. Dustin Hill in a boot at the end of the game. Darius Washington also was pulled from the game with an injury. However, it is said Darius Washington was walking on his own and looked fine. But he had 3 catches for 10 yards. Trey Benson had a catch for – Trey Benson dropped like 3 crucial passes that really could have had him – he could have had him a hell of a day. Trey Benson had I don't know if he was eating fried chicken before the game or something because he couldn't catch the ball to save his life. Marcus Douglas, 2 catches for 5, and Kyle Morlock had a catch for 2 yards. Greedy Vance with an interception. Keon Coleman had 6 punt returns for 107 yards and a long of 72. He should have had one all the way back to the crib, man. He got tackled like 5 yards short. It was crazy. Fitz continues the perfection on the year as he goes 2 for 2 and 5 for 5 on extra points. Monster Mono continues to pump the ball extremely well. And the defensive stats, I don't see the defensive stats aren't up yet from what I can see. So we'll go on from there. Going back into the comments, hit that like button on your way in. Yes, Florida State does move to 6-0 and does become bowl eligible with that win. So worst case scenario, if hell freezes over and Florida State loses its last 6 games, they're still bowl eligible. Pretty no goes to she's in DC and it's raining. I'm at the Capitol with the game on it. I ain't mad at you. Oregon with the ball now. Hakeem Williams is very impressive. I had no idea Hakeem was that fast. That's because y'all, not you specifically, Zoe, but that's because y'all let a 5-second spring clips tell you that a kid's bigger, that a kid's slow or fast. Kate's QBR might be perfect for the year, bro. Might be perfect for the year. Might be perfect for the year. Keon's definitely breaking the rock. Is there really even a question? And I agree with this, man. The entire D, should probably earn a helmet sticker. Give Fuller a raise, man. That was the best. That's the best I think a defense has looked under Alan Fuller for 4 quarters. Does anybody think I'm telling a story on that one? Bro, they again, clown college with clown fans. A clown college with clown fans. That's all I'll say about that. That's all I'll say about that. That's all I'll say about that. Fuller's always on point. Are we sure about that? Okay, well, you know. I think with our field goal kicker, the worked on him after. Definitely Fitz put in the work in the offseason, man. Definitely Fitz put in the work on the offseason. So even though the defensive stats aren't listed here, we can go over what Syracuse did offensively. Again, as you put together, what you're going to see is going to mirror almost exactly what Syracuse did against Clemson and North Carolina. When they played top-tier competition in the ACC, this is the performances they put out. Garrett Schrader goes 9 for 21, 99 yards. No touchdowns, no picks. Then Del Rio plays. He goes 2 for 9 for 29 yards and a pick. Altogether, they threw for 137 yards, 4 yards a pass, and an interception. LaQuint Allen was the best player on the team today, as he had to carry the ball 20 times, or 19, for 110 yards. No touchdowns on the ground, though. They only ran the ball for 124 yards on 3 yards a pop. That is, you can say Fuller's been on point all you want. By far the best 4 quarters of defense Florida State's played, and it's not close. It's not close. That Damian Alford kid, big, long receiver. They tried to target him a few times, just couldn't connect. You can see that was the mismatch they tried to exploit. He had 2 catches for 37 yards. Umari Hatcher had 2 for 36. Juwan Price had 1 for 21. Just not a lot going on. Just offensively, man, we were able to do what we wanted to do. To defensively, should I say? And they also missed a field goal. They were 1 for 2 for field goals. Obviously, no extra points. Again, that is a dominating performance. And though we did not put together the 4 quarters that I've been asking for, we put together 3, I believe. That second quarter, man, still kills us. Because I think anybody watching this game would agree, man, Florida State could have put up 60 in this game. But they had the type of performance that I'm happy that they had, especially with the way North Carolina beat them last week. It's good for Florida State to do something similar, maybe a better performance probably all around than North Carolina had against Syracuse, I would argue. So Florida State stays on top in the ACC. The Florida game is on. Sure it is. I'm not wasting my time watching that garbage. We're going to watch Oregon and Washington. But by all means, Montre, keep us updated on that, especially if Florida starts losing. Keep us updated on that. Shaheem, let's talk about individual performances. So we just went over the scores and the stats and the stat sheets, but individual performances that stood out. Bray Fitty Shaheem played by far his best game of the year. By far, Shaheem played his best game of the year. Shaheem played his best game of the year. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Shaheem played a little better. And Conrad Hussey's getting more snaps. I don't think it's a coincidence, man. Shout out to Conrad. Shout out to Shaheem. Shout out to that secondary for the most part. Schrader sucks as a quarterback. Don't get it twisted. But the secondary came, and they played hard. They played hard. Shout out to the secondary. Shout out to Pat. While I don't know, and we can have a discussion on who is the defensive player of the game, I don't know who that person is off the top of my head right now as I try to think. It might be actually Shaheem, now that I think about it. Or Joshua Farmer, who continues to dominate. But if Pat doesn't do anything else, he's going to bat the ball down. You got to give Pat his If Patrick Payton doesn't do anything else, he's going to get his hands up, and at 6'5", he probably when he sticks his hands up, he's probably damn near 7 feet. He's going to at least bat the ball down, and that is becoming a staple of Pat's game. He's gonna get in the passing lanes and he's gonna disrupt. And while on the surface that might not seem like a big deal, but that is some critical stuff right there. Gotta give Pat credit for that. He's gonna at least bat the ball. I paid a lot of attention how the offense tried. So very interesting thing that I watched today. Syracuse was rolling away from Jared Verse, so they didn't want anything to do with Jared Verse. So they would roll Schrader completely away from Jared Verse's side. And with Pat, you know what they would do? They would double team Pat. They would always chip block Pat. So they were getting as far away from Jared Verse as possible. And I think because they feel like Pat Payton is not the stronger player, they felt like they can at least chip block him to slow Pat down. And as far as the edge rush worked, as far as the edge rush goes, that seemed to work for the most part. As we, talk about the edge and why we're not generating as many sacks. Ooh, Penix just hit a big play down the sideline. Penix throws a pretty ball. He's also been in college about as long as Jordan Travis has. I wonder if that's going to hurt his draft stock. My man Chris Robinson with a $9.99. You already know. Orlando on the check-in. Let's go.
50. I get it. I get it. Yeah.
So Shaheem Brown for me is the defensive. Well, maybe a little bit too. We'll grade out some players, I think, and maybe but Shaheem Brown, man, really stood out defensively. Again, Farmer, and Washington goes up 7-0. Backers, man, thought the backers. Defensively, I can't find no weaknesses, man. So you can probably see what we're going to be talking about when we get to the grading portion of this game. Of this live stream. I can't think of anything defensively that went bad because there was nothing. If we go to the offense, obviously, we already know who the star of the offense was. Jordan Travis on the stat sheet showed that he played a fairly decent game. Jordan Travis is leaving plays out there. We've talked about Jordan Travis at length. He's leaving plays out there with the combination of play calling that I was not too keen about, especially in the second quarter. I felt like we had too many instances where we had good field position and we just couldn't do or finish drives. And with that said, man, Jaheim Bell, if Jaheim Bell would fix the drops, man, he could give Brock Bowers a run for his money as the top tight end in the country. But he's got to clean up his drops. Jaheim had a couple drops in this game. But you see when he gets the ball in his hands how electric he is, right? Shout out to Jaheim Bell, Keon Coleman. O-line really settled down in that second half. That was good to see. Didn't have a good first half at all. Settled down in that second half. On that Hakeem Williams touchdown, go watch 72. Don't overlook that young boy Armella. We keep talking about Armella because every time Armella gets an opportunity, he flashes, in my opinion. Keep watching Julian Armella. We got us one there. Next year is going to be his year. I'm calling it now. Go watch Armella on that Hakeem Williams touchdown. He tried to kill a guy. He tried to kill a guy out there, and that's what you love to see from your offensive line. Trying to think of some more guys on the offensive side. LT got to give Lawrence Toafili his flowers now. He had that great run right there. So got to give Lawrence Toafili his flowers. I thought the limited snaps Keziah Holmes got. So I thought the limited snaps that Keziah Holmes got today. I thought he was flashing. I was like, why do we not play number 26 more snaps? He looks big. He looks strong. He looks explosive. I don't know why we don't play Keziah Holmes more. I hope to see Keziah Holmes more going forward. Look good in the limited amount of snaps that he got. Am I missing anybody on the offense, y'all? I don't think they targeted Tron any today. He was out there. Darian Williamson had a couple targets. I don't think Tron had any. Ja'Kai had a couple targets. I think he dropped one. I will say, without Johnny, they did make an effort to look like they tried to spread the ball out a little more. Did not see Rodney Hill today. I don't know if that's due to injury or what, but we did see CJ Campbell today. Thoughts on today's game? Great game. Point blank period. Pretty much the same things I was saying at halftime. Don't get too up, don't get too down, but they did what they were supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do. So as far as I'm concerned, like I feel like it was a great game. Great game. Dominant defensive performance. Offense continues to have its moments where they look almost unstoppable. And then the offense comes out and looks, anemic at times. I think that's just whether that's play calling or just leaving some plays on the field there. But ultimately, man, we win 41-3. Again, I don't know what we're complaining about if we're complaining. Don't see too much complaining today in the chat. I don't see too much complaining. So we good. We good around these parts. At the end of the day, the game pretty much played out how I predicted on Wednesday when I was pretty much saying, like, Syracuse isn't a threat. I didn't feel like Syracuse was a threat. They didn't do anything offensively that moved me. They didn't do anything, that I would sit back and go, yeah, if we don't do X, Y, and Z, that they can. Nah, they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. So, felt at the end of the day, didn't feel like Syracuse was a threat, and it kind of showed that in the game, right? They didn't do that. They couldn't do anything offensively to make me worry, which is why same thing I said at halftime. I'm not worried. I just they couldn't do anything offensively to really make me worry. Schrader is garbage. So that's that. Ooh, Washington out there hitting. I actually picked Oregon to win this game, but Washington right now looking like the better football team, but it's still early, man. It's still early. Hill was in the boot, Damien. I talked about that. Hill was in the boot at the end of the game. Marcus says he's calling it now. Next year's offense could be more consistent than this year's. Dustin, Hakeem, Toafili, Jacobs, Portier, and I believe Rodemaker is a better passing threat than Travis. Maybe, but here's the deal, right? That might not even be your receiving core. If you got to think, the portal still exists. They could go get is there another Keon Coleman out there that they could pick up in the portal? I'm just saying, don't just automatically think that, some of those guys are going to automatically be in the rotation there. So, yes, they work Keon on the slants. More diverse route tree today from what I saw. Defensively, again, on point. Offensively, we're hit or miss, but when we hit, we hit. I mean, Keon Coleman was absolutely ridiculous in every facet of the game. I mean, that catch was the only thing that makes that catch better if he snatches that ball and stays on his feet. Did they just fire Dino, or are you just saying? Is Dino fired during or after the season? Oh, someone just asking, is he fired? I don't know. Here's my thing. Right? It's one thing for a Florida State, a Miami, Clemson, one of these major programs. There's one thing for it's one thing for you, for that program to make moves. If you fire Dino, which you can, I'm not making a case per se for Dino Babers, but if you fire him, where are you going? Who's lining up to coach Syracuse football? Like, it's Syracuse, my man. At the end of the day, it's Syracuse. Like, if you fire him, what are we doing? So if I'm Syracuse, sure, fire him if you want to, but I don't I don't know where you're going if you fire Dino Babers. It's not like you're, you know what I'm saying. So that is what it is there with Dino Babers. I probably, if I'm Syracuse, don't fire him unless, like, I don't know, there's some secret Syracuse alum that coaches somewhere who's like the next coaching gym in the country that you can go hire. But other than that, who you talking, Mario or Dino? They might be the same guy. No. Dino better than Mario. But anyway. So, outmatched, outperformed the Syracuse Orange like we all thought in the chat. We already went over the stats. Games like this, y'all, they're just so easy to digest, and because they are what they are. They came out, they did what they were supposed to do, and now we moving on to Duke, you know. And maybe we can look forward to Duke a little bit and see what's going on. Dino definitely would have taken a knee, you know. Now we can move on to Duke, and what's most likely, does Duke play today? First of all, there's a question. Does Duke play today? I believe Duke does play today. I can't remember who they play. I'm almost positive they have a game today. I just don't remember who. I'm about to check right now. And if Duke plays NC State, now that game, NC State is 4-2. That game can be interesting. Look, that's not a gimme game for Duke. Two things happening. There's two things here. Does Leonard play? And do you think, and is Duke looking ahead? There's a chance Duke's looking ahead to Tallahassee. That's the case. I don't think NC State's a gimme game for Duke at all. I really don't. I really do not. So we could get a limping Duke coming into that game next week. Now, if they win, maybe you're looking at a top 15 matchup as Duke is ranked 17. You might get maybe we get a college game day. Maybe that's a game day, or definitely primetime game, right? Definitely primetime game, most likely. So, FSU now focused on Duke. Starting QB is questionable. If I'm Duke, you're in a tough spot because your offense is you kind of need him for you to be yourself. But I'm not going to risk him if he can't play next week. So Duke's in a tough spot because NC State, in my opinion, isn't just some gimme. And Bo Nix sucks. But anyway, just imagine how bad this program was when you first started. It's crazy. Absolutely insane. I love it. But I'm not going to lie. Me coming on here pissed off and crying and going back and forth, misery loves company. The views used to be out of the. My highest viewed, even to this day, is still the Georgia Tech debacle and Mike Norvell's first game. That is still my highest viewed video. Because people like misery loves company. Negativity sells. Negativity gets clicks. We haven't lost in 12 games. Think about that, guys. We haven't lost in 12 games. Ever since going 0-4. Somebody put it in the chat last time. Ever since going on 4, what is Mike's record? Like 4 and ever since starting on 4, I think Mike Norville might be like, somebody put in the chat. I forget. I could look it up, but I don't feel like it. Well, we used to play Louisville every season. You got to remember the ACC went away with the divisions. So, you know, ACC kind of picks and choose who we play. I think some of the bad play calling is Mike hiding something for Duke. Listen. Maybe he respects Elko that much. That might make some sense. Elko is a defensive minded head coach, obviously, and he's a solid, very, very good coach. So maybe he is hiding some things for Elko. On the contrary, he may also, I mean, like 6 games into the season, like you kind of are what you are. So, oh, that's next week. I did not know Ohio State and Clemson and Penn State was next week. So that's definitely game day. Absolutely, Johnny. Did not know that game was next week. South Carolina scored. I don't understand the hype for Pac-12 ball. It's West Coast offense, a.k.a. a whole bunch of passing, which equals big scores with little. I don't know if you're watching Utah. I don't know if you're watching this game right here, but these boys play defense, man. This isn't. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Pac-12 is playing like elite defense, but these teams are playing defense. Oregon State plays defense. These teams are not your Pac-12 teams from 10 years ago. They have some players on the defensive side of the ball. The only team that don't play defense at all is USC. USC and Colorado are god-awful. But we were all in our feelings back then. Wasn't it? This was a therapy session, man, back then. Is it 21-6 or something like that? Yeah. Something like that. And that's it. Yeah. 21-6. Yeah, 21-6. So think about that, man. 21-6, man. Mike he's turned the corner, y'all. This team has turned the corner. They not only have learned how to win, they've learned how to close teams out. They've learned how to fight through adversity. 7-7 here going into Oregon and Washington. Oregon just scored and tied it up. The Florida State teams we watched build to this moment. They're gone. That's what I try to express to some of y'all. Like, let's leave the piece. Let's stop having this post-traumatic stress syndrome. We still expect the worst sometimes. Think about that, Think about that, man. Say what you want about Hunter. I know, Hunter and Dion, they spark a lot of controversy because people don't necessarily like them. Hunter in this offense would be absolutely stupid. I agree with KCS. They play enough defense that they could play with just about anybody. And if you don't think Dan Lanning's going to bring defense to the Oregon, you haven't been watching them. Absolutely. Bro, I went back and watched some of your podcasts the Jacksonville State one is one of the best ones. First of all, that live went for like 8 hours after that game. First of all, I live streamed that game, so that's already a long live stream. That's about a 3-hour live stream because I live streamed during the game. I want to do a watch along, and then we just kept rocking after that. Everything in that reaction is genuine shock. Great times. Great times. You think Hunter made the right decision? I don't think he made a bad one. He went and played for the head coach he wanted to play for and is having success doing it. So ultimately, you're right. Hunter did make the right decision. Oh, man, we just going over the Syracuse game. Did Oregon go for 2? I didn't even see that. Yeah, never forget it. Hunter and Shedeur need to transfer. No, they're fine, man. Shadeur's playing for his father, and Hunter is. I think he made the best. I agree. Like, I think he made the best decision for him. I don't think it's a bad decision. I will say this: Deion's gonna have to reel some of that stuff in. Hunter can't play that many snaps. If you want to know why he was getting, first of all, I think he's a better receiver than he is a DB, which is not what I originally thought coming out of high school, but that's what it is. He's a better receiver than he is a DB. That's number one. Number two, you can't have the man play that many snaps. And then you got this dude at number 13 for Stanford who looks like Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson had a baby. This guy gets 13 catches, 294 yards, and 3 touchdowns. But you can't have this guy on the other side of the field and expect Hunter to play offense and be basically your number one receiver and then go and be a number one corner on defenses and cover this guy. I don't care how good you think Hunter is. He's not an android, bro. You can't ask him to do that. They got to reel that in. So he's either gonna play some on defense and be a full-time receiver or vice versa, but you can't have him playing 80 snaps a game, bro. You can't do that. Man, 13 looked like the reincarnation of something. 13 was an absolute monster last night. I was like, who is this guy that keeps taking these slants 90 yards? That's the guy that I think is going to transfer out to. I agree with Insane. If you told me Cromartie transferred at the end of the season, wouldn't shock me one bit. Haven't re-get the day following this podcast. Best and honest FSU positive. So thank you, sir, and ready to hang out with you and the Knowles fan. Hey, I'll be there. So absolutely we'll link up. Play the X-Files music. What? Friday the 13th and 13 on Stanford had the man. Oh my, Illuminati confirmed right there. Illuminati confirmed. I'd take Cromartie in a heartbeat. I'd play Cromartie in a heartbeat. But I agree also with this one. I think Cromartie burnt a lot of bridges when he went to Colorado. But we'll see. We'll see. Back to this game. Let's go ahead and, again, not a lot to diagnose from a team that was just anemic offensively in terms of Syracuse. So it's not a lot of stuff to dissect. We know what we did and didn't do in this game. At the end of the day, Florida State fans, we know exactly why it was only 17-3 at halftime. We kept shooting ourselves in the foot offensively. Instead of doing some of the basics that I believe would have got us some touchdowns, we tried to get a little cute, and it bit us in the ass. Ultimately, we put a team away and went up 41-3. So there's not a lot for me to really have to go over here and tell y'all, oh, we should have. No, we know, and we good. We know, and we good. What's up, CJ? We know, we good. We building, and that's I keep saying that's the crazy thing. I still don't know if this team's reached the level we see what this team can be. So this was a great step in the right direction. If I had to guess, Johnny is probably going to play next game, but I'm not so sure. Let's start with the offense. Jordan Travis, man, the passing game. What are we grading that? Excuse me. What are we grading that? Man, Washington's got a little squad, man. Washington might be a little scary. Washington might be a little scary, but what are we grading Jordan Travis? Let's read Jordan Travis's statistics. Jordan Travis was 23 for 37, 284 yards, 1 touchdown in the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 3 total touchdowns, 284 yards, and 3 total touchdowns. What are we grading JT? What's up, Chad? You think Jordan Travis gets a C? I think that's a tough grade, but Champs also thinks a C. I'm a little bit higher than a C. I do agree, though. He does hold it. He has been holding. He had some plays where he had some plays, man, where I agree. Like he, instead of stepping up, he's trying to like scramble to the outside, and he had some plays, I guess, ultimately where you could just say he was doing too much, right? B, I like the B grade though. I think he was better than the C. Solid B. I agree with you guys. Solid B. Running game. Let's go back to the running game. Total Philly, 7 for 93, 1 touchdown. Trey Benson, 14 for 74. CJ Campbell, 1 for 19. Keziah, 2 for 11. Ultimately, Florida State ran for 191 yards and 3 touchdowns. What do y'all give the running game? CJ, y'all got it, man. Don't be scared. Y'all got it. Running game, A-, says Ice Cold. No. A-. Says no 850. Okay, so A- seems to be the consensus grade. Well, Champs 99 is giving the running game a B-. Insane says I would give Jordan Travis a B+, but he let some throws out there. Yeah, don't disagree. A-, A, B, A-. Okay, I'm gonna give the running game a B+. I ultimately, when you run for 191, almost 200 yards, no not there. Trey Benson continues to frustrate me. I'm not gonna lie. When he decides to like put his foot in the ground and run, he's very effective. The beautiful thing here's the thing about Trey Benson. When he gets a guy that size, when he actually gets moving, he is spectacular to watch. He's not super shifty. He ain't no Barry Sanders. But just the speed at which a guy that size runs, the way he runs, when he gets it moving downhill, he is spectacular. The problem with Trey is for some reason it just takes him too long to get it moving. He's not confident, I feel like, sometimes with what he's seeing in terms of his running lanes. Doesn't seem like it anyway. So outside of that, though, Benson is outside of that, I'll give the running game a B+. I'm not quite an A, because I honestly think Benson's leaving some stuff out there. But when he gets it downhill, he's pretty. Bro, Penix be dropping buckets, man. Another big time throw from Penix Jr. as Washington goes up. 14-8? Well, 13-8, assuming we'll see if they go for a 2 themselves or just kick a field goal. But Penix, he drops the ball. Talk about accuracy. Penix, man, accurate. CJ says that one-handed catch by Coleman was crazy, just like number 13. Man, 13 was killing them boys last night. So yeah, B+. I think most of y'all voted A-. Yeah, I'm gonna go B+, but most of y'all voted A-. Tyler actually said the run game gets an A, but backs as a whole get a B. Okay. And Corey says that's on. Wait. That's on Norvell. You have to run Benton out of 11 or 12s. So that's actually a great point. How they're asking him to run the ball is a great point. Penix might be a QB1 of this draft. I don't know. I don't quite know if he's QB1, but man, he can make a case, bro. He can. And number 2, his name is POLK. Hey, shout out to number 2. But Penix dropping dimes out there. Receivers do include the tight ends, by the way. I think we all know what the receivers are going to get, bro. Anytime Hakeem Williams goes 1 for 44 in a tutty, Coleman dominates. Jaheim Bell had almost – well, let's do the stats again. I think I know what our receivers are going to get. But Coleman went 9 for 140 in a touchdown. Jaheim Bell had 4 for 87. Hakeem 1 for 44 in a touchdown. Darian 2 for 23. Keziah 1 for 16. Blase. Look, we can stop at Hakeem Williams, basically. They threw for 344 yards. What are we grading our receivers? Receivers get an A+. Yeah, we're not going to waste time on receivers get an A+, bro. Hakeem, again, that clown college told me that boy was slow and that he wasn't a real 5-star. They look pretty stupid, but that's not the first time Miami has looked stupid. No offense to you, CJ. You know you're my guy. But y'all boys told me Hakeem wasn't that good. 1 for 41 catch, 44 yards, and a touchdown later. And the boy that, what is Hakeem listed at? 6'2", 200 plus. I don't know, man. Look like 4.4 speed out there to me. Just saying. Look like 4.4 speed out there to me. I got to give the receivers an A+. I see some A-. Some of y'all being a little hard. He said because of drops. I mean, the running backs were the ones really dropping the balls, not so much receivers. It's A's, A+, A- seems to be the lowest grade. With who's left on our schedule, who would you say is the best? One of the rivals would be, right? Rivalry games are rivalry games. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to lose a game, my guess would be Florida or Miami. Speaking of Florida, how's that game looking right now? Even them boys that weren't being targeted got great. There were some good blocks out there. I agree. There were some receivers out there that were blocking really well. I mean, Dustin Hill is a guy. If you're not paying attention to some of the stuff Dustin Hill's doing, Dustin Hill was blocking very well. I was impressed with Dustin Hill when I watched him block. Randy says, what's something that I took away from today's game that we need to work on? And not necessarily for Duke, right? But just continue to get in sync offensively. That is what we have to work on. So yeah, everybody's pretty much on the same board with receivers. O-line, this is going to be an iffy one. O-line did not play a good first half. I think the O-line played a lot better second half. O-line, what are y'all thinking about the O-line right now? What are we grading that O-line? And some of the things that we're seeing in O-line, I honestly believe can be fixed if we stop. One, we have to get healthy. I will say that. Bless Harris not being there sucks. It sucks. I hope whatever happened to Darius Washington and why they took him out the game, I hope that's not a lingering thing. We cannot afford Darius and Bless and Robert Scott to be hurt, bro. Robert Scott is not playing healthy. You can see it in the way he moves out there. I mean, ultimately, what do they say? If you get on the field, there's no excuses, and I'm not making excuses for him. But if you're watching Robert Scott and you've watched Robert Scott in the past, you don't tell me that looks like the same player, right? He's not healthy. But he's gutting it out and he's trying to play. Bless has missed the past 2 games, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3 games. That sucks because he's been arguably your best tackle all year. And now if Darius is hurt, that sucks. O-line's got to get healthy. It sucks. We're getting kind of injury bitten on that O-line right now. I see some. I'm A C. Play Armella. No, I don't disagree. Maybe they don't want to risk Armella. Maybe Armella's not quite ready for where they want him to be. Like there's some, who knows? I don't know. But I'm gonna grade the O-line a C. I think they were just average today. I mean, Robert Scott almost got Jordan Travis killed at one point. I listen, y'all. I am almost tired of watching 63. Or I don't know what it is about 63 that he starts off slow. Like he starts off bad, and I guess he just got to get something into him, and then he kind of levels out by the second half. Right, he'll level out by the second half. But 63, there's plays where I'm watching 63, and I'm like, man, he is not good. Not terrible, but just not good. And I think 63 is still a work in progress. Florida and South Carolina, the trash ass bowl is what this is looking like. But South Carolina's up 14-3 on Florida. So we'll see who wins this. I think Florida has the ball right now. So 63 is Byers. 63 was Byers. And people have lost. Anyone that's telling you that has lost their mind. They've lost their mind. So we're not going to worry about that. Those are ridiculous takes that we don't give any kind of credence to. But let's move on. Let's move on. So just to recap the offense real quick. What did we give Jordan Travis? Shoot, I forgot. We gave the running back. We gave the running backs a, right? We gave the receivers an A+. We gave the O lines a. Did I give the running? I got the running backs either a B+ or A. Receivers A+. O line C for me. I think I gave Jordan Travis a B or B+. I think I might have gave him a B. Don't quite remember. Shows you how good my memory is. Let's move on to the defense, man. D-line, what are y'all thinking? Oh, my God, Polk, I've been trying to get on here since you started. Something was going on with my YouTube. Hey, Sandro, I'm glad your YouTube got fixed. Maybe you had to update the app or something. That happened to my daughter the other day, actually. Her YouTube kept crashing, so I don't know. YouTube can be weird like that. But D-line, what are we giving D-line? A? I see some A. Yeah, 3 A's in a row. Yeah, D-line as a whole, you got to give excellent grades to. I don't know why people think that the D-line is supposed to get like a sack every play. I see some unfair criticism sometimes of that D-line. We got to watch that D-line, man. That D-line's doing this job, y'all. Don't just watch the D-line. Watch how teams are blocking it up. Watch how they are focused on who they are shifting the blocks to, who are they chipping, who are they rolling away from. All in all, when you actually pay attention to what offenses are doing and what our defensive line is doing, our defensive line is playing really, really damn good football. And I'm watching Daniel Lyons out here and KJ Sampson. Obviously, it's garbage time, but we have a bright future on that D-line as well. I think so anyway. We got some pretty decent young kids. Linebackers. So we all agree. A. Some people saying A+. I'm going to give them a good A. Good old A on the D-line. Linebackers. What are we thinking? What are we thinking about these linebackers? Overall, yeah, we already know the D-line was very, very good overall. But the backers, again, played very well. Lundy and Deloach, Bethune actually started today. Omar Graham's out there. Blackshear says a B+ for the Blackshear gave the D line a B plus, and he's giving the linebackers a B plus. So he's grading very hard today, I guess. I don't know. If your D line's playing well, your linebackers are usually going to play well. So, yeah, it's not surprising that they coincide with each other, right? If your linebackers are playing well, if your D line's playing well, that frees up your linebackers to do a lot of good things. So, I gave the D line an A. I'll give the backers. I think the backers played really well, man. Lundy played extremely well. Yeah, I'll give the backers another A. Why did Bama win? I don't know. Can South Carolina please do the Lord's work and not let the Gators win? That's what I would like. It looks like the Gators are about to score. Why is Carolina so bad? And then we will go to the secondary, obviously. And this might be the best game. And again, all of this has to do with the fact that Syracuse has a terrible offense. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to like Syracuse is some juggernaut on the offensive side of the ball. But it's good to see them do what they're supposed to do against the team that they're supposed to do it against, right? So secondary, I think, played their best game of the year. Again, I think Shaheem Brown played easily his best game. Cypress played his best game. Yeah, I think as a whole, obviously, I will give the defense as a whole an A, and I'm going to give the secondary an A. At the end of the day, all three levels of the defense were they did what the hell they were supposed to do, right? So we worry sometimes. We're like, man, this quarterback sucks, but he's going to come to Florida State, and he's going to look like the second coming of Pat Mahomes. But we did a great job of not letting Schrader and not letting these receivers and not letting all these guys look like they are way better than what they really are. So FSU's defense finally stood up and did what they were supposed to do. Yep, Oregon just scored. I think Florida just scored too. So South Carolina's probably going to let me down here. Because Florida goes up 20-14. Come on, Spencer Rattler. You sorry bastard. All right. Oregon's up 15-14 against Washington. We got a game in Seattle. What's next? So we just did our grades, man. We've gone over the stats. What do y'all think? Y'all want to do helmet stickers now? Or answer some questions before we go to that? No point of going 2 hours, right, if we don't have to. Y'all don't want to watch me for 2 hours anyway. We can hit the helmet stickers, call it a day, and y'all can get on with y'all Saturday. So y'all let me know. Why would you do this? Why? Jay Hutch, what's up? Why would you do this? Let me get the helmet. So this is what I'm going to do. Obviously, we know one's going for Keon. Okay, we know one's going for Keon. And on the surface, it's Syracuse. I don't feel like Syracuse is a good team. I'm not about to give a gazillion stickers, right, for beating a terrible Syracuse team. Where do I want to put that? No! I caught it. I don't want to give a million stickers for a terrible Syracuse team, right? But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the unthinkable. Well, with a caveat. I got a sticker here that I'm willing to give to Adam Fuller. I'm going to put that sticker, instead of actually on the helmet, I'm going to put it like this, if y'all can see that. All right, instead of actually on the helmet, right, I'm going to put the sticker like that. The reason I'm doing that, I'm willing to give Adam Fuller this sticker if he can give me back-to-back performances. If he can give me a performance like this against Duke, that sticker will go permanently on that helmet. It's going to stay like that all week. I'm willing to give him a sticker, but I need consistency defensively. I need to see another defensive performance like this. If I can get that next week, I don't need a shutout, Ryan, but I hear you, right? But I don't even need a shutout. But can I get another consistent defensive performance? If Riley Leonard plays, he better not look like I don't like name a big time quarterback. I don't know, right? He better not look like Aaron Rodgers or something next week. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm gonna do. Keon is obviously going to get a sticker, but I'm gonna keep this sticker just like this, just waving in the wind. It's just flapping here. And if I can get back-to-back defensive performances like that, I am willing to give Adam Fuller that sticker permanently. All I'm asking for is some consistency. Yeah, Josh Allen. Can he not look like Josh Allen on us, right? Virginia Tech is better than Syracuse, right? I think Syracuse has a better record, but I don't know. Y'all think Virginia Tech is better than Syracuse? Duke's next. What's your feeling on this team? Which one? Our team or Duke? I think either way, I feel great. We're beating Duke. I'm not worried about Duke. Virginia Tech's up 7-0 on Wake. Starting defense is only giving up 12.5 points a game. Is that a fact? I didn't know that. If Leonard looks like Penny, oh my God. Fuller is on probation. It is on a probation period. And if he can come through, you get hired full time with all the benefits that come with it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do agree with that. I don't think it takes the high ankle injuries, but ankle sprains are very tricky injuries. Those things can linger. So I agree with that. Like, even if he plays against Florida State, I don't expect him to be, running the ball like that. Man, Penix has a crazy windup to his throw too. But y'all go ahead, man. Enjoy the rest of your Saturdays. I'm not gonna hold y'all up. When we do these type of games, it's not a lot of think pieces that need to go into us doing an instant reaction. I don't need to be on here for 5 hours. Y'all already know. FSU dominating its opponents, even on the games that we are somewhat struggling, man, we're fine. We're fine. We've got a solid game coming up next week in Duke. If Leonard plays, The good point was brought up. He probably still won't be the effective runner that he's known to be with that high ankle sprain. If he doesn't play, Knowles by 50. That's right, you heard it here. Hopefully South Carolina can do the Lord's work for us and beat these sorry Gators. And then North Carolina going to do some more work for us and continue that, show that that clown college needs to be disbanded, gotten rid of, I don't know, do something away with that clown college down there. So the Carolinas, man, need to come through for your boys and do the Lord's work for us, because we are will forever be in your debt if you can do that for us, Carolinas. But with all that saying, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday, man. Hit that like button, subscribe if you came in and you're new. Share the video as we continue to grow 863 Seminole TV. And I will see y'all, as we get ready for Duke. So next week is Duke week. At the end of the day, y'all, this is what it is. This is what y'all going to continue to see, because you look at the rest of the schedule, there's not really a game. I mean, the rivalry games are going to be the big ones. Outside of those two games, I'm sorry, I don't see a threat. FSU might be cruising into Charlotte come time. FSU probably going to be cruising into Charlotte come time. And who knows, playoffs as well. Go Noles, man. We are doing the damn thing. Sandra says, okay, all Noles, y'all enjoy this 6-0, 6-0, no, and bowl eligible. Good night, POLK. Enjoy what I heard. I enjoy you showing up and showing love. They root for them to lose, but when we want UF and Miami to have better record, hey, man, you know, after last week, I gave up on that. After that clown show that Miami had last week against Georgia Tech, you know what I said to myself? I said, you know what? Bump it. I'm just going to root for them boys to lose every – if you're not going to be undefeated and you're going to lose to a team like Georgia Tech, I'm just going to root for you to lose all the rest of your games. So the hell with them. I don't care. I'm no longer counting on Miami to be undefeated, obviously, right? Don't care. Go Noles, man. Go Noles. Go Noles. So that's it, y'all. Y'all go ahead and get on that up out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's night, man. As always, it's your boy POLK over here on 863 Seminole TV. Stay classy, y'all. And we are out here. Go Noles. And Florida State 6-0. If you haven't taken notice, country, start taking notice. The Noles are here. We back. I said it. But when we say it, when Florida State fans say it, it means something. We back and we here. What Deion say? We coming. Damn it, we here. We are here. I'll holler at y'all.